and Helluva boss! The white demons confuse me. You all blend in together. Starting off, the best thing that ever happened to the furry community, Erica Lindeck as Luna! Coming from that side, sorry, I don't know where the fucking stairs are. You're there. Next up, my sister Millie, Vivian. Followed by, we don't know what the signs are right now. We have to prep this. You are here. This is where you are. That's where you are. There we go. I didn't set this shit up. Next up, who would Millie be without her loving husband, Moxie? Next up, we have our lovable but tragic Goetia Prince, and next up, his, as we all know, extremely loving and committed wife. Joining us this time, the voice of Stella, Georgie Lee. Also joining us for the first time on one of these Helluva panels, but not new to the Helluverse, the voice of Striker and Bosco! And last but not least, the Helluva boss himself, the voice of Blitz, Brandon Rogers! Normal professionals. Actually, welcome everyone. Thank you all so much for being here, even though it's completely something I don't benefit from. We have now done, we have done so many of these conventions together. This is the first time, I think this is the first time we've actually been to this state so far. So this is a new one. Hello, Minneapolis. Thank you so much. The fan responses have been great. It's very encouraging seeing just how many cosplayers are out there. We have had incredible fans so far, and we're excited to see you at all of our booths out there. So I have a curious question, since several of us have done many of these so far. Going down the line, I am curious, you've met with a lot of fans. Is there anything memorable or bizarre that fans have come to your table asking you to sign?
Well, I can start by saying, no tattoos. I don't design tattoos, I won't do it. I've had somebody asked me to design a tattoo on their body and I said no.
I can add to that. So Morgana and I were like, someone said, oh, will you sign my arm? I want to get a tattoo. And I thought they were joking. And so I wrote, and I write, like I don't just do a scribble, like my handwriting's like very regal, like Stella would write, like, oh, calligraphy.
Extremely British.
I filled it down the arm and I, as a joke, said, that shit's gonna hurt. And then the following day, she came back with blood down her arm, wrapped it up, and I was like, fuck, she did it. It did look great though, so.
Yeah, see, Bryce has this thing called morals. Whereas Georgie and I are just like, oh, you want us to write something on you that's literally going to be on you until you die? Fuck yeah, let's cover your whole thing off.
I had somebody bring a daki or a body pillow that they had designed of Luna, which was very explicit. But this actually has a happy ending, haha, because his art, it was the artist that brought it to me, and he went, his name was Xander, he's friggin' awesome. Spectral Shift, I think, is his like handle or whatever. But I had him do a print for me, so because his art was amazing. I was like, wow, her titties, these are great titties. Because he came up so embarrassed, and I was like, you're really good. Do you want to do it? He was like, oh my god, yeah. So yeah, he's awesome, and it's a really hot body pillow.
By the way, I just want to say that this has been a point of contention among the leads because we've had to point out Luna's a dog and doesn't have tits like that. So if she did, you'd have like 6 of them, and that's just not as a feeling. So.
I'm like with Bryce. I don't like signing body parts that people want to tattoo their names. And the reason why is because my friend Ricky Simons, who played Gurr on Invader Zim, had this saying, I'm not going to sign my name on your body because if you wind up serial killed, I don't want them thinking I signed my work. Yeah.
I've signed many body parts. I love signing body parts. I've signed many butts, boobs, everything. But I've signed a few conventions ago. Liam, my assistant, he'll remember this one. I signed a butt, and they had me, and they were going to get it tattooed very close to the hole too. Because mostly it's like, can you just sign a cheek? But this person pulled it down and spread it, and I said, well, you can't do this at the convention. But they did, and so yeah, I signed it. It wasn't on the hole, so I mean, there's always a first.
You just put an arrow towards the hole.
Yes. Brandon Rogers. In there. I hope this is a fucking 18+ panel. I'm sorry. I'm assuming there's closed doors, and I'm assuming you've all seen the show.
Listen. Look, everyone has to learn it from somewhere. Who better to learn it from than us? And Vivian, have you had anything interesting?
I haven't signed a weird body part, but I think I'm setting myself up now, so.
I like that we can very easily see the split. It's like who in the cast, if you want to get some weird body part signed, you know who to go to now. This is why it's great to start the weekend with this panel. We are halfway through season 2 right now, and just to let you all know, I know you are all waiting for Full Moon right now. Full Moon will be coming out very soon. It has nothing to do with some of the rumors. If it's just like, oh, they were busy with Has-Been or anything else. It's just, as I've seen, a very, very pretty episode. So they're taking their time, making this book as beautiful as possible. But where we last left off, this question is actually for both for Brandon and Bryce, leaving off where we were with Stolas and Blitz. Do you want to talk a little bit about our dynamic with them so far, and where we kind of left?
Are you referring to it's one of my favorite, one of the funniest scenes in the show, where Stolas is in the hospital and he's texting and
Yeah, wasn't that funny? We worked really on the comedy of that. Isn't it funny when someone's like dying in bed?
I don't respond. Anyway, yeah. I thought, wait, what is it? What happened? Yeah, Stolas. Yeah, they're going through something.
Brandon hasn't technically seen the show.
I write the damn thing, but I don't know what's going on.
So they kind of have a thing going on, and it's not going well.
That one won against that one, and then these two saved the day, right? From this one.
By the way, I have a problem with that. Why am I always getting double teamed in fights? Like,
yeah. Is the statue accurate? Is the statue accurate?
Why don't you find out?
I could hang a hat on that.
Yeah. Why does it always got to be a sex thing? But yeah, I mean, where we left them off before, we're obviously going to be developing that a lot more. Something that we've kind of talked about panels on before, something that we are starting Full Moon with, which I think everyone can be excited about. We do have a duet. Huh? Oh, yeah. This is about you, dude. we do have a duet coming up in this episode.
And Bryce has everything, a lot to say about it.
Yes, I do. I love our duet, and I can't wait for you to hear it. I think one of the things that we always love to talk about is music in the show, and how Viv intentionally made this show live in a sort of musical Broadway way. She always wanted music to help tell the story, and I think Brandon and I have been sort of hoping and waiting that we would get the chance to make music together. So we'll see. You know, we recorded it so long ago.
It was a while back.
It was a while back.
And I've never
wasn't
been
it?
more nervous going to a recording session than that. I mean, these guys have heard this story a million times, but I would say, like, I've never rehearsed lines more. Like, when they sent me the demo of the song, and I remember driving to that shoot, singing that song in my car over and over and over. And when you hear it, you'll know why. It's way above my range. But yeah, we saw the episode. We saw Full Moon about a month ago, so it is done. I mean, it's all, but it is so good. When the song played, all of my nerves were put to rest. I was like, I'm fucking proud to be in that song, and so it's a great moment. It's a great episode. Yeah, y'all have a lot to chew on, you stole it, people out there.
So that actually brings up something interesting. So for those of you who can guess, like it's a long time between us recording the voices to actually seeing what our characters are doing in that episode and the final product. So good question for the cast. Has there been anything that surprised you once you actually saw the episode and saw what your character was doing, how the episode looked, versus when you actually recorded? Is there any moment that stood out for you that you were surprised at, like seeing the characters, seeing what they actually animated and what this visually looked like?
Anytime, I mean, Luna has a lot of really badass fight scenes, you know, especially with like Millie, and so they'll just be like, okay, just do some, yeah, hell yeah, fuck yeah! But I love it when there's areas of the episodes that are nonverbal, just seeing how they bring any little, you know, battle reaction I'll do to life. I swear, with this show, I feel like I could just be going like pee pee poo poo, fart fart fart, and people would be like, whoa, the show's so good. Because the animation is so good that it's doing so much heavy lifting. For me, not anyone else, just me. I suck, but no, yeah, it's really, really cool to see that, especially because I have no real inclination of what it's gonna look like, especially when it's more like nonverbal stuff.
Touche. I think what's it, X's and O's? Is that when I save you, Richard?
Yeah, that's the one that...
This ass is mine! When I saw that animation, I was just blown, and the dildos and the things. I mean, yes, I was blown.
That was actually...
Say less.
That wasn't even drawn. That was an actual picture of a place. The dildo wall.
The dildo,
Yeah.
In Brandon's home.
Yeah, that's at my office. But fun fact, that scene originally had like 2 or 3 times as many. We're talking about the one where it comes out of the walls, right? All the dildos and plugs and shit. Yeah, it's
And the chairs.
And the chairs. I remember Viv. It was the only time I've heard Viv give an animator the note of "Can you tone this down?" It was the only time. Like, this is too many dicks.
Imagine on a professional level after sitting around with a bunch of department leads on a huge show and being like, okay, is it too many dildos? And if that's the case, where's the line? Because we now have to establish that on just the right amounts.
I was pretty blown away by the Moxie's Bad Trip song, which was You're tripping balls, bitch boy! That was pretty good. The styles that are blended in that, you have a Disney-esque feel along with Phantom, which was really amazing to watch. Yeah.
All right. Georgie, we got to see a different side of Stella recently, and we got to see kind of Stella be adorable in a recent episode inside of the bitchiest way. her and Androlphus is a very different dynamic than we've seen her, because we mostly see her with Stolas kind of being,
Very
pissed
angry.
off and screaming. So now we have you with your sibling and just get to see like Stella being indulgent and conniving and
And she's so she's so bratty in that episode, and she's just so absolutely unaware of her what will happen when she kills him. She just wants him fucking dead, and she doesn't care about the repercussions, and she's just in her own head, and she's like, "Wah!" So I like showing the bratty side of her finally, and not just being so angry at this prick.
Yeah, she very much she did more than any time else in the series so far. In the most recent episodes of her, she very much comes off as spoiled, like teenage daughter, like definitely kind of like that childlike
brat. Yeah.
You can say that again.
Shut up, prick.
And now, so Ed, we now have you on this panel now, and I'm going to stretch that out so we can get the mic. We have you coming into the show, taking over as the voice of Stryker, and we get to expand on Stryker a lot in your most recent episode, because finally we're like getting away from the ruse and him sort of like being secretively like have this whole assassin plot behind her. So when you came into Stryker, what were your thoughts on like where to take this character next, now that he's like the mask is off for him?
My first thought was don't screw it up. Everybody loved him. And then my second thought was, oh, he's really cool, I got this. So much so that I actually got help from a friend who's in the audience, Donna and Bennett, on the accent, because I didn't want to mess that up either. Because we definitely wanted to make him kind of like a Southern cowboy. But then to see how crazy he eventually got, like in the most recent episode where he is holding someone at gunpoint and going absolutely Joker style crazy, I was like, this is fucking awesome. People are like, he lost his mystique. I'm like, did he ever really have it? Maybe he was just a really good assassin who's also just a couple of bad days away from just going crazy. So I really enjoyed it, and hopefully the fans did too.
Now, for Richard and Vivian, since we are definitely getting.
I know, it's terrible.
So first of all, I hate that we've split you up so far from each other, because
We're not crazy about that either, are we, Millie?
No, we're not. Millie!
see, I hate splitting you up because all my favorite questions to ask you two are about like the energy and couple dynamic between the two of your characters, and we've got to see, like when we first started out, it was nothing but sort of like very lovey-dovey. They're not, I don't believe they're even that long after getting married. I think they're still like pretty like a year into or something like that, their marriage.
Yeah, they had their honeymoon during the opera episode.
On the chandelier.
On the chandelier. Yeah.
I give them about 3 years.
Wow, sister, wow.
Well, that's if Stryker has something to say about it.
Yeah, that's true.
But going over like the dynamic between the two of you, what has been exciting for you to explore in their relationship, going from like the very sort of loving songs you sang together early in the season, and then the most recent episode, one of our more recent episodes, where we find a little bit of tension between the two of them when in
Unhappy Campers.
In Unhappy Campers, yeah.
You know what's so cool about this is you never know where the story's gonna take you, right? Like I came in and I recorded for a cherub, and then I got cast as Millie, and then I learned more about her every time I received a new script. So just pulling back those layers and, okay, she's an assassin, she loved this guy, building my life and my world, and then tapping into this more relatable part for me where it's a real relationship, and sometimes you have to prioritize yourself, and how do you do that, and when do you do that, and why do you do that? And it's been a beautiful journey, Richard, to explore the depths of our relationship.
Yeah, I don't think that it would be true to a relationship, a healthy relationship, if there wasn't some disagreement and argument sometimes, and oftentimes, even in the happiest relationships, you can end up taking someone for granted. And I think that was really important in that particular episode because, Millie has always been the one that takes care of everyone. She takes care of me, except when she got her leg caught in a bear trap. And then I had to get, that's when she didn't like my hands. I don't have good hands. But I think that was an important episode because, you know, it gave a lot more depth to specifically the Millie character, which I thought was really good.
And there's a lot more of that coming up very soon as well. So a lot more Millie exploration coming up, which we're very excited about. That is a few questions from me, but I'm going to guess that there are some people out in the audience who probably would like to ask some questions as well. Am I correct in assuming that? Amazing. Okay, well, let's start off right down this line. You right there. Yeah, you just raised your hand. I saw you first. Yes, you. You can hear you fine. It's just, you can come closer, you can scream it, but you're completely dealer's choice. Oh, well, happy birthday! Let me call Alex. Yeah, he's on there, but Alex is not here. He is in Spam-A-Lot right now. Yes. I saw him last week, and he's amazing in it.
Fantastic show. Do we know if we're gonna get any more of like miserably and Mammon, that kind of background, considering he was like blown up? Like, how did he?
Yeah, we do know.
Okay.
Yes. The answer is no. There's never a good time to fire 2 members of the cast.
This is awkward. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, and also sorry to Alex Brightman.
You will be happy with the future of the show, we promise. Yes.
It's not hard to hide that one of Viv's favorite characters is Fizzaroli. She is not subtle, so lots more of that. Thank you. You blue hair right there.
I have a few gifts for you.
Oh, could you give us those at the panel by chance? At the booths by chance? Oh, thank you. We'll probably take those there.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We can limit it to 1 just to get it around to the whole audience. No problem.
Well, Brandon, will you make a YouTube video of you in Minnesota?
Should I make a video out of
You should just get a hat and throw it up like Mary Tyler Moore.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was in Queen Bee will be a pair, and Luna will be an official pair.
We can't confirm shit about ships, unfortunately. No, shit about ships. Okay, Brandon, you pick one. And what? Pick someone.
Yeah, my eyes are dog shit. I'm sorry. Oh, right there in the.
You right there. Yes.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is actually for Richard. I've been watching you since Angry Leaders, My dad and I are bonding.
Oh!
What has it been like for you to have, honestly, such an iconic voice for children, and now you're bringing it into a much more adult role? And it's still, honestly, it's the same iconic voice that drew me into the show. So what has that been like for you?
Well, those kids that started out as Angry Beavers are now adults. I'm just basically raising generations of kids. Good question.
And also, if you have therapy bills, you can bill those to Richard Horvis.
And all your parents owe me babysitting money.
I'm gonna go with Charlie Morningstar over there. I see you raising your hand. we definitely cannot confirm that. However, we have dropped several hints in both shows that they do take place in the same world. So that's as we've seen. You know, we've seen Angel Dust posters pop up near Aussies. We've seen a Fizzbot owned by Val and Vox. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, 666 News.
And 666 News. Okay, who do you want? That Angel Dust right there. Okay, no. Come up a little closer because I need to show off the this is so good. Oh, the way they move so well. This is insane. That's so good. What can we
You're a loser, baby.
A loser, goddamn baby. You're a fucked up little whiny bitch. You're a loser just like me.
That technically means you get 2 questions. No.
This is a question for like everyone. What do you think was like the hardest or least favorite part of like filming and the whole process? Like what was most challenging?
I'll start with mine. Having to wait literally years for my character to appear in the show again. I've done so many of these conventions, and it actually takes longer for me to count the amount of enamel pins of Sally Mae than to watch her on screen so far, but thankfully that's changing soon.
Yeah. The hardest thing, honestly, is getting the episodes recorded because we have a large cast. Half is in New York, half is in LA. We started during COVID, so back then we had to send out like mobile recording rigs to everybody's house and have them set it up, and some people had never set up a recording space. So recording the show in my world is the toughest part of it. It takes a long time. And we're like non-stop recording.
I actually have a quick funny story about that. In season 1, so Mara Wilson, who plays Mrs. Mayberry in the first episode, I recorded in the studio, but then after I finished, Mara was meant to record right after me on the mobile setup. It did not work. So I got a frantic text message, drove to her place, picked her up, and brought her back over to the studio with me so she could record, because she was like right after me. But technology.
I think my answer is opposite of yours. Well, I'm not directing the show, but I think recording to me is like the part where I get to turn off my brain the most, because we just get to play, and and Blitz isn't that much of a departure from me, so it's not like I get into current, I just get to like drink a lot of coffee and then be him. And I get to wear whatever you want. Well, I try to avoid vinyl. I learned the hard way that certain clothes make noises when you move in them. That's why I record nude. But if there's enough oil, then we get the sounds again. So.
He's naked under these clothes.
Richard's naked under these clothes. Richard was naked in the Alpha costume. Did you know that?
So for all those who are excited about more behind the scenes material, check out the Spindle Horse OnlyFans page. We have.
It's just us. It's not even the characters. It's just the actors. Yeah, we'll work on it. I'm just talking now.
Is this is on? Okay. I would say for me, probably the Octavia Luna scene in Seeing Stars. I felt like, quite frankly, Luna had been a little like I'd been playing her kind of one way because that was the only scenario we'd seen her in, and I just remember really being scared to do that scene and going, oh, is this still gonna read as Luna? I don't know. And then I overthought it, and then I got in the booth and went, Erica, just do it. You know what to do, just do it. And I did, and it worked out, and I think it's really lovely. And I think my journey as an actor has been realizing that I don't have to do so much. Like, you don't have to do as much, you don't have to try so hard, you don't have to throw so much sauce on whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, because you're just being a human under different circumstances. And so, yeah, it was tough, but it ended up being a really lovely scene, and I'm so happy that it worked out. Yeah.
I think the hardest part for me was just living up to the legacy because I was kind of coming in late to the game. Shout out to Norman Reedus, who I thought did a phenomenal job as the first striker. I thought he killed it, and there was a lot to live up to. And I think Richard went a long way of just making me feel comfortable. Like, hey, this is just you now. Let's just do what you do. And Viv gave me a lot of permission to kind of make it my own, which is why it's not. It started off as kind of a sound match, but then she's like, no, let's turn up the cowboy and you just do you. And that really made me feel like that I could take ownership of it, and I didn't have to live up to what had already come. And that for me, that was the hardest part. And
Ed?
Yes.
Can you do a werewolf growl this thing? Can you do that?
That's so random, but all right.
I have a request. I just got goosebumps all over.
Why was that hot?
I think the hardest thing for me is I do a lot of yelling as Stella, and I need to make sure I can yell as good at the beginning of the session as I can at the end. And the last time I actually recorded in London, and I kept in a moment with in between scenes, I was like, oh, can I have some tea? And I was like, fuck me, I'm so British, but I needed. I've never felt more cliche British, but I was like, I really need some tea for my vocal folds, you know. So I'm so fucking British. Yeah. So I think that was just making sure I lubricate my larynx. That's all I need to do is
Yeah, honestly, hats off to Georgie. If anyone knows her personally, they know that Georgie's a very quiet person.
I like to think I'm nothing like Stella, at least.
The only thing she abuses more than Stolas is her voice.
That's very true. I'm going to steal that line for the next panel.
I would say the most challenging part of where we are now is every time we go to record a song, or I go to record a song, I feel like there's a standard and an expectation that I want to hold up for the show, and the first song I ever recorded was You Will Be Okay, and when we were recording it, it was the pandemic, and we didn't really know what was happening. I was recording in a friend's garage, and I sort of didn't know the world that I was walking into, but I had just had a baby, and my wife had. And I was a dad worried if everything was going to be okay, and I just remember using that in the song. But since then, now I know what I'm walking into the booth to do and uphold and try and create for people, and so bringing something of myself, but also the character to every song, and trying to do it in a booth, which I'm used to performing live in front of an audience and giving it away once and then it being gone forever. So you miss a note or something, it's not recorded forever and on the internet forever. But when we do these songs now, that's been a challenging transition for me to try and really listen to myself and make sure it's how I want it to be before it's out of my hands and I hear it again in 9 months at a time. So a challenging but a welcome challenge. I love doing it. We just did it last week, and I just love doing it. So it's a bit of both.
By the way, just really, really fast, did we all love Just Look My Way?
One of the most challenging moments for me was I had to record a song, and I actually got it on my car ride over to the studio. So sometimes as an actor, you get things last minute, and sometimes you have time to prepare, and there's this want for perfectionism and to hit every note and every harmony properly. But what's beautiful is that we're surrounded by a dream team of professionals and directors who are cheerleaders in the booth, which you don't always have. And so they instill confidence in you, which gives you the ability to hit your mark.
I'm gonna test my eyesight over there. I think there's a blitz back there that I'm seeing. I'm trying to.
How did you see that?
I've had to be good at this.
I was wondering, can we get either your favorite line as your character or a line you wish your character could say?
Already on the line. It doesn't count if they don't find the body.
A human called me a
I am so sorry I fucked your husband.
Shut the fuck up!
I'm gonna break you like a fucking horse.
Are you guys fuck this one too?
That was the sound of a fucking divorce!
Moxie, it's a thing! I love Moxie! I want that thing!
Okay, I want to take some from this side of the room. I see you, sir, with like, you have like a red sort of collar thing right there. You. Okay.
My question is, what do you think your character's favorite drink would be? Anything in the world?
She's gonna have a little sarsaparilla mixed with some good whiskey.
I'll have a cappuccino, half cappuccino.
Somebody made Moxie's coffee order recently. Someone actually did make it.
What did it do? Is it good? Did they make it for you?
They didn't make it for me.
I'm sure they didn't make it for them either. I think he likes a boba tea. And can't go wrong with a Diet Coke.
Everclear? I don't know.
She's no bullshit, get straight to the point. That's what it is, yeah.
I don't know, like a really straight and hard bourbon or whiskey or something.
I have no idea. I feel like a very dirty martini. Okay.
Stole mine, gin martini, very dirty.
My fucking drink. A Kettle One martini up with a twist.
Thank you so much. You've had your hand up for a while. Black jacket, blue stripes. You.
Thank you. So my question is for Brandon. What is your personal theory on why Blitz is so obsessed with horses?
Oh my god. Well, okay, just checking. What is the age limit in this panel?
That whole bullshit started with our background lead. Our background artist, Sam, is obsessed with horses. And somehow that bullshit worked its way into the show. Have you ever looked a horse in the eye? They're soulless and you're only alive because they let you. They are insanely horrifying beasts. That's the only differences between me and Blitz is that he's murderous and he likes horses. I wish it hadn't started because I draw a horse. Every other print I have to draw a fucking horse. The dicks are never big enough. I don't feel good when I'm done drawing it. So what's his obsession? How did his obsession start? I don't know. He got hit in the head, probably on that explosion. I don't think he liked the horses before that tent blew up. So I don't know. He's weird.
All right, I'm gonna go way back there. I think I said yes. You. Yes.
My question is for Brandon.
Of course it is. Fucking popular.
All right, what do you want to say to me? Wait, the first at Lululand when he's fighting the Robo one. Yeah. Wait, what about him? It was just a statement. Remember that episode? Yeah. All right, cool.
Anybody loves Lizzo, and then he says no, but I really with his gun. Sorry, I can't talk today.
No, that's okay. He is good with guns now.
Could you say that line?
No, but I'm really good with guns now. Dance, bitch!
You wanna pick out somebody, Richard?
Way back in the corner. Yeah, that hand jump up like that. But yes.
You. We're just gonna test your screaming ability. So,
Well, I'll answer the second question first. What keeps me going at voiceover? Money. But what got me into voiceovers, I didn't start out as a voiceover actor. I was an on-camera actor for most of my childhood and teen years and young adult years. And then around 1989 or so, or 88, there was a Writers Guild strike. So I walked into my on-camera agent and said, hey, I want to do voiceover, and they introduced me to a voiceover agent, and that's how I got in. But it was like an ugly duckling coming home to roost because everything on camera after I got past the nerd phase of my career was like, well, he doesn't look like he sounds, or he doesn't sound like he looks, you know. They expected me to sound like Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise. And
wait, do you not think you sound like Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise?
I guess I could. But that's how I got in, and it's just been like a godsend. It's been amazing to me to be in voiceover. It's like, wow, to be able to make a living at this for so many years has been great, and thank all of you for watching the shows. Thank you.
I'm gonna go, you got a lot going on with your mask there, and you look like your arm's about to fall off, so I'm gonna pick you just so you can save your arm.
First off, thank you for coming to Minnesota. We all appreciate you.
First off, we just want to say we appreciate your accents.
My question is, if you really want the show to be funded for, I don't know, like 5 more years, why don't you make the thing from Lululemon a plushie we can buy?
I'll answer that. Working on it. I'm gonna say my main fucking job for the last few months has been making sure that the rest of this year and beyond that is filled with a lot of really cool Helluva and has-been merchandise. This is music to my ears. I'm like, just going, yes, please, let us give you our money. Yes, please. This is what I've been fucking explaining to people, so you'll get it. It will happen.
Morgana is the definition of mother. Like she's traveling all across the country making these deals and taking care of us like we're her little children with one brain cell. It's incredible.
I didn't really I didn't care for her before, but now I'm really into the whole mother and mommy thing. I'm finding the appeal here. Actually, it's enjoyable. I love you all. Here we go. Used right there. Yeah, black hoodie right there. Yeah, you.
So I know that not all of you were aware of the fandom that had existed for 10 years before you were roped into it. What was your initial impression joining versus how you feel about the fandom now that you're welcomed into it?
I had a little experience with the fandom before Helluva, just a little bit. And y'all are still as crazy as you've ever been, and I appreciate it.
I'm gonna say, you know, we actually talked about this like the other day. There's so much freedom for us within this fandom because of the indie nature of it. Sometimes you have to be worried about like how you act at conventions, whether it's gonna be pleasing some shadowy figure at the top of a studio line or something like that. You know, there's a lot of like, you know, lines you're worried about crossing and engaging with fans and having fun at conventions. We only have to worry about what Viv likes, and Viv likes when we're a bunch of chaotic fucks. This has opened it up. This has opened it up for all of us. Like we have so much fun at these conventions because you're all up for us being wild and raunchy and having fun with you, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, a lot of people ask, what was it like to say the F word as Invader Zim? And it's like, well, I wish you knew me at home because that's nothing new. But was such a firm believer in Vivian's vision and where she wanted to take the show that I was just so happy to jump on board. That was just like, wow. And the fandom, amazing. I mean, look at all of you. It's like, without you,
I will say it's interesting. You know, we talk to a lot of people who run these sort of conventions and like places we make appearances at. And if you're not in the fandom, you have no idea. And then we have convention people shocked that they thought that they had like these massive properties. They're just like, oh, this little indie thing, this little internet cartoon. And we show up and we like, our cosplayers outnumber the Avengers. It's a whole world that is now greatly expanding because Has-Been's popularity is now spreading over to Helluva and beyond.
And the fans are, and I just want to say, this is the best fan base in the world. I've seen lots of different fans in this world, and this one is the best. And I mean, we have such loyalty. Someone spent $50,000 on a spin-off episode.
I'll be honest. I've told this story before, but when I auditioned for Luna, I thought it was a furry fighting game.
Which is only half wrong.
Which is only like half. It kind of is. It's a little bit of a furry fighting game. But I remember I did it at my friend's house. I didn't even go home. I went, oh, what is this? Okay, and I read on it, and then yeah. Sometimes it's just proof that, you know, you're hyper focusing on the callback that you didn't get or whatever, and then you fall ass backwards into like one of the coolest things, like something that you couldn't even have conceived of. So yeah, super cool.
Oh shit, it's me. I'm just so excited to be here. This is like only my second time on this stage with these amazing human beings. So I think I'm still like learning about how many of you there are and this amazing fan base. I think I'm still in shock and in awe, and I don't know quite what to expect of this weekend, and I'm just very, very honored to be a part of this amazing cast on this amazing show and to get to be a bitch.
Georgie's been one of my closest friends for about a decade now.
Over a decade. Yeah.
One of my first friends I made when I moved to Los Angeles, and to have to share this like experience, it's like we're circumnavigating a second or third group of friends together.
I know,
And
I love it.
It's really cool because we met on a dinky little music video, and every role we've played with each other since has been like we're lovers or we're friends or whatever. And this is the first time we've played people who don't like each other.
I know. I'm so used to making out with you, and
especially on camera.
Husband, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I definitely didn't know what I was getting into, which is a good thing for me. I came into the recording booth, and one of the first things we did was this phone call that Stolas has to Blitz. And Richard and Vic said, okay, so would you be comfortable just maybe doing some improv and just kind of improving like what you would want him to do? And I was like, okay. So they, I think, said rolling, and I started going, and about a minute and a half later I just stopped because no one would stop me, and I was like, heard silence on the other end, and I thought, okay, well I just lost that job, like some of the things I just said. and then they clicked back on so I could hear them, and they were all laughing in there, and I thought, okay, well maybe we'll land it on something, and I think I finished that tirade with the words jelly sandwiches.
The fact of the matter is that we could not stop him. He put acts together that you could not even imagine. Words together that only matched what this guy does. At the end, the reason it took a minute for us is because Viv and I were sitting there like this. Yeah, that's good. Good. Let's move on.
It was like, do we need to do it again? No, I don't think so.
We're good.
I think we got it up there. So that was my introduction to sort of because that was okay, what I had just done, I sort of knew what I needed to know about the show. And then the first time it really dropped for me what the fan base was and what you guys all bring to the stuff that is made, or the reaction videos, and seeing some of the reaction videos, even just the latest ones to Just Look My Way, I was just so blown away by how people respond to this material and how meaningful it is to you guys. And as performers and artists and actors, I think like in each of us is some version of wanting to create meaning in the world somewhere, in a world that feels meaningless a lot of the time. And so whenever we get little dribs and drabs of proof that we've helped create meaning in someone's life, so I love coming to these conventions and hearing from you what meaning you've derived from this thing we're all a part of. It's just been so incredible to be embraced in this way and to join the fandom myself.
Yeah, I had no idea what I was stepping into. I had the best time recording my first session, and I was mind blown just by my experience with Richard and Viv in the booth. And it was during COVID, and everything was Zoom, and still the most incredible virtual experience I've ever had. And then I remember the first episode dropping, and I was like, okay, let's see what this is. And I watched, and comments. I didn't realize there was a pilot, and I had stepped into these big ass Erica Lindbeck shoes of Millie. And I was like, oh wow, I'm the second Millie. And when there's opinions, and at first I was like, okay, this is a little mortifying for me as an artist, because as you said, Ed, big shoes to fill. But then as I've grown with the show, and I did my first con last year in Vegas, and I met the fans, and this Helluva universe that I didn't even know existed has just been eye-opening and a blessing to be a part of. And thank you all so much for your love and support.
All right, we can do one more very, very quick question. We have to wrap it up. Tiny little arm right there that I don't want to fall off the shoulder.
So this is a question for Brandon. How did you like working on Has-Been after getting popularity from Helluva?
Yes, that's what happened. Breaking those news and those bus sizes. I don't know. I like it. I like playing Katie Killjoy. I get to play two red, hellish people obsessed with show business. Yeah, I love her. I love that she breaks her neck all the time too. That's kind of fun. The neck breaking is fun. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. We want to grab a quick photo with everyone really fast. If you would like sticking around, we're going to grab a selfie with you. If you want to get your print signed, we're going to be downstairs. If you want to get weird body parts signed, find me, Brandon, or Georgie.